All right, there's quite a bit going on over here. Let's see what this is. I'll let you be the judge. Moving on. Find a lot of granite. Chipped. It looks very similar to the last flagstone piece. Some of them, the coloring is natural, and others it was painted, even drizzled ochre. There's a good shot right there. I believe that's a fish. And maybe a bird. Side view. Pretty cool piece. Let's see. It's very similar to the material that I have found. I think it is actually wrapped around clay-like forms and packed. And I don't know if they were just left to dry. Some of them, the material appears to be charred, so it may have been fired with the material on it. I don't know. Fascinating to me. What's going to be fun is when this storm moves on, since the creek was running so high, it cleans everything up and it churns. So I'll come back down tomorrow or the next day, and all the rocks will look like this. Same as it's the best in the summertime when there's a heavy rain. It just churns the creek and you can just see stuff in the water. Certain places, particularly petrified wood or any other real distinctly colored pieces. I'll let you be the judge on that too. These marks 2 vertical marks is something that I've mentioned before, but something that I find on nearly every carved rock, carved piece, and also on about 6 to 8 cottonwood trees. So I believe it was a tribal marking of some sort. But that's got this thing's got a lot going on. Many of them do. Yeah, I like this one. There's a little something right there. Triangle, symbol, some sort. Head with an eye right there. Oh, that looks like a coyote. See the colored nose? I can tell that it's got something right there. You'll actually see if you really look at something like this, sometimes the nose portion, it looks like Play-Doh. It was added on, capped, set to fire. It's just incredible. There's some markings right there. And sometimes it's actually best without much light. So moving away from the light now, sometimes it's easier to distinguish the overall piece itself, and also to identify any markings, symbols, decorations, so on and so forth. I've discovered some pieces of mine that are something, but I don't know what. And I put them on my dresser drawer, and I'll have barely any light coming into the room, and I'll walk by and look at it, and just because the lighting is just right, it clicks. So, pro tip, I guess. All right, let's meander down here a bit. See if I can't find something that's real obvious for the doubters. What we got here? Yeah, that appears to be worked. There's that color that I was talking about. the red. Looks like a fish. Here's the tail fin, head. Great color. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's see what else we can find. What is this? Colorful. These are some of my favorites. The real little ones. I've found them even half the size of this. But that white appears to be drizzled. Ooh. Branches are snapping all over the place. But if you look real close at this one, that was drizzled. I believe, although I'm not sure, I have to have it tested, but I believe that because I found a big chunk of some melted substance. It had hardened, but it looks like this. So I think, I don't know, who knows, it could have been part of a bison. They heated it and used it as paint, adhesive. I know they did that. But look at the snout on this. That's the same material. It's like the first Elmer's. Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool little rock right there. Someone put some time into that. I'm about to drop it. No. Look at that. Beautiful. All right, let's see what else we can find. By the way, I'm the only person, myself and my buddy Spencer are the only ones that are aware of these rock carvings. And I met him on the creek. He was doing the same thing I was. And I have not met anyone else that knows anything about any of these. It's quite a bit to wrap your head around when you see the intricate details of some of these creations, and of which we know nothing about. We sure know a lot about projectile points, tools, but in those in that line of study, there was left no room for individual artistic expression whatsoever. So the narrative is one which paints a picture of these people that they were just animals, and they just made things to kill other things and to eat, to survive. But this says differently, much differently. And I'm not saying that I discovered this. There's others, if you look online, in other areas of the country that have found much the same. And it's really hard to wrap your head around. Like I said, just the intricate details. By the way, I'm not saying that all of these that I'm picking up have been worked, but the intricate details and the time it took, these things had to have had significant meaning to these people. Yet there's no history, nor is there a field of study. And I'm not out to convince anybody. I'm not. And I'm smart enough to try to convince someone of something when their paycheck depends and their reputation depends on it not being so. Because this changes the history and the narrative of these people. And I believe that it deserves to be told and studied and shown and appreciated. And that's what I think about that. Here's a cool one right here. Check it. Nice little piece of petrified wood. Now, you could go into how this was made and the process and the silicate and all that, and then it would end. Again, I'm saying otherwise. Most of these show heavy signs of being worked. There's some color there. They pecked them, sanded them, scratched them. Once I'm able to analyze this a little further, I'll be able to tell you what it's most likely to be. I've got some ideas, but I'm not positive. But that's a cool piece.